Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here to give you guys a video today, and in this video I am going to be reviewing both Raw and Smackdown from this week. And the reason why I'm doing it now and we didn't do it on the Massasoit Wrestling Corner is because on the corner I didn't really feel like it. We all weren't feeling it. We just decided to do our predictions for the Royal Rumble and then just be done with it. But we're here to do the but I'm here to do the review now, and I'm feeling a little bit lazy right now. Um, because yesterday was just such a big day. I had my third semester and sophomore year of college. I went back to college yesterday, and then I did the Massasoit Wrestling Corner yesterday, and then I went to a wrestling event yesterday, and then I had to come home. I had to wake up, and I've been doing homework pretty much all day. So I'm feeling a little lazy, so I'm probably not going to go as in depth into it. So for the Raw review, I'm just going to use footage that I've already recorded for the What's Better Monday Night Raw or WIW video that I'm going to be posting. And for the Smackdown, I'll actually do this current film. So obviously in the video, you're going to hear some weird things that I was talking about. But that video was recorded earlier this week, so I'm just gonna use that footage for the Raw review, and then for the SmackDown review, I'll do it legitimately, like the way I normally do it. So here's the footage from the Raw review. Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here to give you guys a video today, and in this video, I am going to be reviewing both Raw and SmackDown from this week, and the reason why I'm doing it now and we didn't do it on the Massasoit Wrestling Corner is because on the corner I didn't really feel like it. We all weren't feeling it. We just decided to do our predictions for the Royal Rumble and then just be done with it. But we're here to do the but I'm here to do the review now, and I'm feeling a little bit lazy right now. Because yesterday was just such a big day. I had my third semester and sophomore year of college. I went back to college yesterday, and then I did the Massasoit Wrestling Corner yesterday, and then I went to a wrestling event yesterday, and then I had to come home. I had to wake up, and I've been doing homework pretty much all day. So I'm feeling a little lazy, so I'm probably not going to go as in depth into it. So for the Raw review, I'm just going to use footage that I've already recorded for the What's Better Monday Night Raw or WIW video that I'm going to be posting. And for the SmackDown, I'll actually do this current film. So obviously in the video, you're gonna hear some weird things that I was talking about. But that video was recorded earlier this week, so I'm just gonna use that footage for the Raw review, and then for the SmackDown review, I'll do it legitimately, like the way I normally do it. So here's the footage from the Raw review. Okay, so Raw took place on January 18th, 2016. I don't know anything that's happened yet, but I figured I'd talk about it. I'm probably not gonna watch the whole show all in one sitting. I'm probably gonna go to bed fairly soon because it's like 1 in the morning, but I want to watch some of Raw before I go to bed because I don't have anything else to do right now. And I'm not really tired, so I can't really go to bed, so I'm probably just going to watch some of Raw. But I don't want to stay up too late because I got to go to school, even though I'm kind of already past that. So I'll probably turn it off, at some point when I feel like it. But yeah, let's get to Raw. Okay, so we have we have JBL, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton on commentary for this show. And it starts out by showing a Martin Luther King Jr. Video package because it was Martin Luther King's Day when this show was aired, which I completely forgot it was that day. Actually, not gonna lie. I never really know when it is though. So, but anyhow, it shows like a video package of the speech he had when he was talking about how he had a dream of everybody not being looked at as just color, but as the same race, and everyone being looked at as equally. And then it shows like a lot of the important African Americans or black guys, whatever you want to call them, who not only important, but the ones who have accomplished the most stuff, the most influential people, like, you know, Barack Obama. I think James Owens was the other guy's name. Muhammad Ali, people like that. And I totally think that Vincent Kennedy McMahon should watch this video package, because then maybe his company would be a little less racist and finally give a black guy the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Just saying. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they will finally do it. But they play it every year like they care about Martin Luther King Day. But I mean, they probably care about it. But let's be honest, they're not giving the black guy the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. They ain't gonna happen. And they're gonna continue to treat the blacks pretty racist. So then, what was next? Okay, so the first thing that actually happens on the show is Roman Reigns comes out and he talks about how he's going to be the first man in history to ever defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the Royal Rumble match. And he says that he's going to focus, and it truly is going to be one versus all, but tonight he only wants one man. He wants to fight Brock Lesnar. And he calls out Brock Lesnar, but Chris Jericho comes out instead, and he says, well, you didn't get Brock Lesnar, but you got somebody a whole lot better, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, Chris Jericho. And Roman then says, yeah, but I wanted Brock. And Chris Jericho makes him an offer, saying, tonight, Brock Lesnar's going to be on the highlight reel with me, and I want to make this the best highlight reel ever. So why don't we have the 3 top contenders to win the Royal Rumble match on the highlight reel tonight? And Roman Reigns is down for that. But then the League of Nations come out, and then Sheamus says, I forget what he said about Roman, but then he says, I never officially got to welcome you back. And then he cuts a promo talking about how, saying, why are you having me, why are you having the highlight reel for the top 3 contenders, but you don't have the League of Nations here? We're going to win the Royal Rumble match. And he also is mad, too, that they're making this whole Royal Rumble match seem like it's just Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, when really it should be about 28 other superstars, which is a good point. And he wants to be on the highlight reel, but then he even makes fun of Chris Jericho, and he says some bad joke saying, because he was wearing a shirt, like a jacket type shirt, with a shirt under it, and he says, where's your shirt? Did you eat it? And then Chris Jericho says, I'm not going to put you on the highlight reel because you're not entertaining enough. So why don't we have your hair be on the highlight reel, your mohawk, and we can ask why it makes you look stupid. And then Alberto Del Rio grabs the microphone, and he talks about how you don't know what it's like to win a Royal Rumble match because you've never done it before. But me and Sheamus have. In fact, I won the largest Royal Rumble match in WWE history. And then Chris Jericho says, yeah, but I don't want to have you on my highlight reel. And he says that Alberto Del Rio means jackass in Spanish. And then Rusev grabs the mic, and he says that back in Bulgaria, every day is the Royal Rumble. He says that he has to throw the kids off the bus, and sometimes his mother throws steak, and they have to fight 2 guys sometimes to get it. But so 29 other superstars is going to be no big deal. And after the Royal Rumble, one of us will win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So then Chris Jericho is like, well, Roman pretty much rubs it in his face by asking Roman who won the Rumble last year and who eliminated him. And obviously we know it was Roman Reigns, and he eliminated Rusev. So, and then Chris Jericho says that he didn't understand a word he said. So Rusev says that he'll beat up. So Rusev goes to talk, but Roman Reigns just tells him to shut up. And he says, he challenges Rusev to a match, and Rusev accepts. And the League of Nations come out, and Chris Jericho said to even up the odds, I'm going to be the special guest referee for this match. Then that was it. I didn't really like this opening segment that much. I just didn't. I thought it was kind of stupid. Everybody was fighting to be on a talk show. Thought that was stupid. And I thought it was stupid that Chris Jericho can just make matches now because he's not the general manager of Raw or anything like that. So I thought that was stupid. And I just really thought this whole opening segment was just kind of stupid. It was kind of just bland. So yeah, but we get to see Roman Reigns versus Rusev with Jericho as a special guest referee. I think we know how this is going to pretty much turn out. But I mean, the match won't be that bad. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so then we get Roman Reigns versus Rusev with Sheamus, Ken Barrett, and Alberto Del Rio ringside with Chris Jericho as the special guest referee. And I didn't really think the match was anything special. I just thought it was kind of an average TV match. Rusev dominates a good portion of the matchup, and then Roman Reigns makes his comeback. And then Roman Reigns goes for a Samoan drop. Rusev kicks him in the head and tries to pin him, but he kicks out. Then Reigns hits a powerbomb, a sit-down powerbomb, and he goes for the Superman punch. But then Del Rio distracts Jericho, and actually, too, I forgot to mention that Jericho made the referee that was supposed to referee this match take off his shirt, which didn't really make any sense, but whatever. And then Sheamus tosses Reigns into the barricade, and Jericho realizes, pretty much assumes what happened, so then he kicks Sheamus out of the match, and then Barrett gets pissed about it, and then he kicks Barrett out of the match and does a cartwheel, which was funny, and then Del Rio gets pissed, and then he does a cartwheel and kicks Del Rio out of the match and makes the funky chicken at him, and then Reigns hits a Superman punch on Rusev and a spear for the win, and then that was it. I didn't mind the Chris Jericho stuff because that was kind of funny, but overall the match was just pretty much average and just kind of there. So yeah, this was kind of average. But I'm gonna go to bed now, and I'll finish reviewing this show tomorrow, or later on today since it's like 2 in the morning. But so yeah, I hope you guys have a good night's sleep. Okay, so next Chris Jericho's backstage. And Stephanie McMahon's mad because he made that match between Roman Reigns and Rusev without her permission. And she's mad about it. So why was the match a thing if they didn't approve of the match? Doesn't make any sense, but yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. But anyhow, then Stephanie McMahon is mad that he's making these changes on Raw. Like having the highlight reel with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, because that makes her decisions look bad. These decisions that she's making make her decisions look bad, her business decisions. It makes the company look bad. And Chris Jericho says, "What happened to you? This is..." And Stephanie McMahon even tells Jericho that this isn't 1999. And Chris Jericho says, "I remember those years. You used to be so much fun then. You were such a different person. Now you're a completely different person." Even though in 1999, wasn't she kind of just like this? Well, I mean, I guess that's when her heel turn happened. So I guess she was a different person. I guess I'm thinking of the wrong year. Anyhow, she does like the idea of the highlight reel. So why is she mad at him for it? And then she said, "Don't ever make a decision and try to affect this show, or you'll never, ever be the same again." And I kind of hope this leads to Chris Jericho becoming like a general manager or something, or like an authority figure. So that way that can happen, because that would kind of be interesting and it would be something different. But this was just probably a one-time thing, and so I didn't really care much for this. And then we get Brie Bella with Alicia Fox versus Natalya. With the returning Paige, she returned here. Natalya returned here, and this is pretty much to build up Total Divas, because that returns. I think it already returned, actually. And I didn't care about it. They're building up a feud between Paige and Alicia Fox, something that happened on Total Divas because Alicia Fox unfollowed her and all the social media stuff. So Paige is mad about it because she thinks Alicia Fox hates her, which I guess nowadays would make sense. But the thing is, like I talked about before when I do Total Divas, this happened months ago. Like, it happened... It was filmed in the summertime. And you're just doing something about it now. I mean, I don't even watch Total Divas anyways. None of my friends do. I think some of my friends do, but they don't watch it because of the show. They watch it for comedy purposes. So Natalya, there was one spot where Brie Bella was doing the kicks to the chest, and Natalya just falls to the floor, which I thought was funny. But she was playing possum, so Natalya puts Brie in the sharpshooter, and Brie Bella taps out for the win. I didn't really care about this. It was just kind of there. It was really average. Like, you have Natalya and Paige back, and this is how you utilize them. Come on. It was just stupid. But anyhow, let's continue on with the show. Obviously you can tell from my attire, I took a shower and all that stuff, so I actually changed it up. So let's talk about the next matchup. It was Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan with Braun Strowman ringside versus Ryback and the Dudley Boys. This was just an okay matchup here. It wasn't great, but wasn't bad either. The Wyatts get the heat on Devon Dudley for a while, and then Ryback gets the hot tag. He starts hitting all his moves on everybody. Then he unknowingly makes a tag to Devon Dudley, not to Bubba Ray Dudley, which I thought was kind of cool. And then Ryback goes to hit the shell shocked on Rowan, but then he clotheslines Luke Harper outside the ring. And then well, no, Bray Wyatt outside the ring, actually. And then he has a face-off with Strowman, but Wyatt ambushes him from behind. And then the Dudleys tried to hit the 3D on Harper, but Eric Rowan just plows right through Devon Dudley, and then Harper hits the discus clothesline on Bubba Ray Dudley for the win. And then afterwards, Bray Wyatt starts screaming that we are the Riders. Make your peace now, because after Royal Rumble, we will have salvation. So I thought that was cool. I did like that the Wyatt family looked strong here. I think that was definitely needed, because I think they're trying to make the Wyatt family look like that they're not that they're somewhat of a favorite to win the Royal Rumble match. So I did like that. But yeah, this was just really it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. It was just kind of there, but I didn't mind it, I guess. Okay, so next we get Big Show versus Heath Slater with Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, and Adam Rose ringside. And Big Show's a face again because he was out there high-fiving fans and waving and all that stuff. So he just turned face for the millionth time. And then Heath Slater cut a promo talking about how they're going to take care of, saying something like he's going to take care of Big Show, and also says that he is going to win the Royal Rumble match and become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Then Adam Rose says that he can't be eliminated from the Royal Rumble match because there's a red carpet underneath him, always keeping him floating. And then Curtis Axel grabs the mic and says, "No one ever knows what you're saying. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble match because I was never eliminated from last year's Royal Rumble match." And then Bo Dallas goes to say his catchphrase, but Heath Slater said, "But right now, let's take care of Big Show." And then Big Show just knocks out Heath Slater for the win. So pretty much this group's just a joke. And this group just feels like it's just jobbers thrown together. I had some faith in it just because I thought they were going to actually do something with it, but I was wrong. I had a feel, like I was iffy on it, but yeah, they're not going to do anything with this. And then Curtis Axel gets knocked out. Adam Rose goes on the turnbuckle, gets knocked out. Then Big Show tries to knock out Bo Dallas, but he gets out of the win. And he's so happy he survived. He's about to take his victory lap, and then Big Show knocks him out and then leaves. So that was pointless. And then Sheamus, Ken Barrett, and Alberto Del Rio are backstage. And Stephanie McMahon comes up and says that she is impressed about that they were able to keep their composure when Chris Jericho wouldn't let him go on the highlight reel and just punked them out. And then they get mad, and she pretty much tries to rile them up to go attack Chris Jericho and probably interfere on the highlight reel later. That's pretty much what she did. And I thought that was fine. This was all just kind of eh. Okay, so the next thing that happens is they are drawing through the tumbler who is going to be number one in the Royal Rumble match. So the McMahons come out, Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon being, and they talk about how this guy could possibly win the Royal Rumble, and then Stephanie McMahon says, "Well, it could be someone the WWE Universe has never seen before." I wonder if she was teasing right there that it could possibly be AJ Styles, that he's possibly coming to the Royal Rumble, which would be cool. So they pull it out. At first, Vince can't open it, so he puts it back in, and then he pulls it back out again. Stephanie McMahon opens it. It's Roman Reigns, which I assume would happen. And then Vince is like, okay, that was rigged. Let's do it again. They do it again. It's Roman Reigns. And Vince can't get it open each time. And then Vince is like, okay, let's just do it for real this time. This is for real. And then they pull it out again. And actually, the one falls out. So then Vince was like, it won't be that guy. But then they pull it out again, open it up, and it's Roman Reigns. So pretty much Roman Reigns is going to be in the Royal Rumble match, and this time he has to start it off at number 1, which I assume would happen. It makes sense because this is to really stack the deck against Roman Reigns. Um, that's about it. I didn't really care for this segment. They could have just done this backstage. I just didn't care for it. I knew it was going to be Roman Reigns. And then when they kept putting it back in the tumbler, it was just annoying. So I think it was just to show that it was rigged. I think all the names probably said Roman Reigns. Then that was it. It was just stupid. Okay, the next match is Becky Lynch versus Tamina Snuka with Naomi ringside, and Ric Flair and Charlotte were watching the match for ringside. It's okay. I like the finish where Becky Lynch did the disarmer from the top rope, where she just put Tamina in that way, but the match was just eh. Tamina's not that good of a wrestler. Team Bad, though, have terrible theme songs now. I liked it better the way it was before. I don't know if that's Tamina's theme or what, but we're going to have to wait and see with that. And then afterwards, Becky Lynch gets on the mic and says that nothing would make her feel any better than this Sunday at the Royal Rumble winning the Divas Championship. So then Charlotte gets on the mic and says that she already beat her for the title. Well, no, then Becky Lynch says, but you have to accept my match. And Charlotte gets on the mic and say, yeah, what makes you think you deserve a shot? Yeah, you beat me, but you lost the title match. Now you got to wait in the back of the line like everybody else. And Becky Lynch says, the only reason you beat me is because of your father. And then she says, isn't Ric Flair a two-time Hall of Famer? And then she talks about all of Ric Flair's accolades and says that Hall of Famers wouldn't never turn down from challenges. In fact, Ric Flair never turned down from challenges, even though he's done it before. And then she says, well, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And then Ric Flair, on Charlotte's behalf, accepts, saying that you're going to face the greatest diva of all time. And then Charlotte didn't look happy when Ric Flair accepted on her behalf. But yeah, this was just I didn't mind the segment, I guess, but the match itself was just Okay, so next we get a tag team match. It's Dean Ambrose and Kalisto versus Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio with Ken Barrett ringside, and Kevin Owens was doing guest commentary in the match. And they announced on this show that it's going to be the rematch, the rubber match between Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio for the United States Championship. Which, you know, I think could be a good match. I'm not really looking forward to it because of what they've done. You know, with having Kalisto just flip-flop with the championship. But overall, a good match. I thought this was the best match of the night so far. And Kevin Owens was great on commentary, as always. There's one spot in the match where Michael Cole was talking about how Kevin Owens was tweeting something on Twitter. And Kevin Owens says, well, it's nice that you're able to check Twitter when you're supposed to be doing your job on commentary. And Michael Cole says, well, I did it during the commercial. And then there was another spot where Dean Ambrose hit the back body drop on Kalisto, taking out both Sheamus and Del Rio. And Michael Cole says, great teamwork by Ambrose and Kalisto. And then Owen says, great teamwork. He just backdropped his own tag team partner. So I thought it was cool. But then the heels get the heat on Kalisto for a while. And then Dean Ambrose gets the hot tag, starts taking out everybody. And then Ambrose and Sheamus are brawling on the outside. Del Rio throws Ambrose into the barricade. So they get the heat on Ambrose for a while. And then Kevin Owens was being great on commentary. The commentators were talking about the handicap match they're doing tonight on Smackdown between Roman Reigns and the League of Nations. And Byron Saxton says last-ditch effort to try to take away some momentum for Roman Reigns. And then JBL said, did you just say ditch? And then Kevin Owens says, what you heard is Byron Saxton trying to be a good commentator. And then Byron Saxton says, why are you always picking on me? And then another part, Kevin Owens says that Byron Saxton never shut us up. So then Byron Saxton was really quiet for a while. And then when JBL was talking about something, JBL was like, well, someone who's not talking right now. And then Kevin Owens tells Saxton to call the match, and Byron Saxton says, well, you told me to be quiet a second ago. So I thought that was cool. And then when Del Rio goes for his finish, the double stomp into the gut while they're in the trio roll position. And then Owens uses one hand and like hip tosses him off the turnbuckle into the ring. And then Byron Saxton says that's one way to use one arm, and then Owen mockingly talks about him. And then Ambrose Kalisto gets the hot tag on Sheamus, and he starts going off on him. He tries to beat him with the roll up, but then Sheamus goes for the white noise, but then he counters it into a roll up into the kick to the head, and then Kalisto hits the Salida del Sol on Sheamus, but Del Rio breaks it up by kicking him in the head. And then Ambrose and Del Rio start fighting. They fight outside the ring. And then Kevin Owens stands up from commentary. Dean Ambrose gets distracted by this. And then Del Rio hits an insecurity off the announce table on Ambrose. And then Kalisto tries to go for the Salida del Sol again, but Sheamus is too powerful to for Kalisto to hit it. So then he throws him onto the rib first onto the ropes, and then Sheamus blow kicks him for the win. And then that was it. Then afterwards, Kevin Owens stares down Ambrose, and that was it. I thought this was good. Good matchup, and obviously I knew the heels were going to win, but I'm happy the heels went over because the heels look strong here, so I thought this was a good tag team match. Probably the best thing on the show. It may be the best thing on the show. Well, actually, it probably won't be the best thing on the show, but it was a good tag team matchup here. Okay, so next, we get the funeral for the trombone. Greatness. Just can't even explain it. The New Day are dressed in all suits, and they have like the trombone in the case, and they have pictures of the good times they had with the trombone, and Big E is playing the preacher, saying dearly beloved, we are saddened to hear for the loss of Francesca, the trombone. And then they're all upset about it. And Xavier Woods, then they're talking about all the good times they had with it, about how it was smashed by Chris Jericho. And then Xavier Woods was blubbering, and Kofi Kingston says, "Don't worry, man. We can get you a new trombone." And then Xavier Woods says, "But I never got to say goodbye." And then Biggie says, "Well, Francesca will always be in your heart." And then they talk about, how the power positivity can get them through this. And they ask, what would Francesca want you to do? And Xavier Woods says that they would want us to eat a ton of guacamole and pretty much stink up Chris Jericho's bathroom. But also, they would want the champions to fight. They would want the champions to take out Jey Uso. And Big E is going to do that. And they also announced that the New Day is going to be defending the WWE Tag Team titles against the Usos at the Royal Rumble, which I'm fine with. I actually want to see, kind of looking forward to that match. And this was just a great segment overall. Really funny, really cool. And I'm glad they did something like this. And then they play the video package they play every year for the Royal Rumble. This year was a little different. It was actually different this year because it's for the Rumble instead. It's for the title instead. But they played it up. They talked about, how many people have been in it, how many Hall of Famers have been in it, which went down from last year, how many eliminations have happened, how Stone Cold Steve Austin won the most out of everybody, how Kane was eliminated the most overall, Rey Mysterio's lasted the longest, which I'm shocked they didn't actually jokingly say Curtis Axel, how Santina Marella lasted the least longest, and they talk about, how many Hall of Famers have won it, saying that there's been this many, but only 8 have won it, and then they change it up. This pretty much was just a hype Roman, because they say the first time ever Roman Reigns is defending the title, and there could be a lot of surprises this year, because I'm surprised they didn't say there's only one other time that it was for the title, but they didn't say that. And then Roman Reigns, they talk about how Roman Reigns has to defy the odds, how he has to face like 12 former champions and 6 former Royal Rumble winners that are in the match, and how he's going in at number 1, and the only 2 people have won the Royal Rumble from that entry. He didn't say 2, but and then he says that it's really going to be 1 versus all, and it shows Roman Reigns getting beaten down. So I did like the video package. I kind of hated that it was just all to push Roman Reigns, but whatever. That's what really the Rumble's about this year, so yeah, I did like the video package, and I like the funeral segment, so this was all very good stuff here, too. Okay, so we get the next match. It's Titus O'Neil, R-Truth, Mark Henry, and Neville versus the Cosmic Wasteland and Tyler Breeze. What a boring match this was. This was like a Superstars quality match, but it was just unneeded just to kill time. It was really boring. It was a joke. They get the heat on R-Truth for a while, and then Neville gets the hot tag on Tyler Breeze, and then Titus O'Neil throws Tyler Breeze into Mark Henry, but he was supposed to catch him and do the World's Strongest Slam, but he messed it up. But he still did it anyways. And then Neville hit the red arrow for the win. It was a boring match. Okay, so the last thing that happened is we get the highlight reel with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And Chris Jericho said that this is going to be the first time ever in WWE history that the three most likely candidates to win the Royal Rumble are going to be in the ring at the same time. And he talks about all the accolades, Roman Reigns, Chris Jericho. But then when he gets to Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman comes out and he goes to say his normal stick, I'm the advocate for the reigning defendant, you know, all that stuff. And Chris Jericho says, Paul, would you please shut the hell up? And he says, we know that Brock Lesnar is your client. And then Paul Heyman says that you should show me with some respect. And he talks about how Brock Lesnar is going to win the Royal Rumble match and become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And Chris Jericho says that you were able to get people into situations and out of situations. And last week you tried to make it so that way the Royal Rumble winner would immediately face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And you failed. And Paul Heyman, it was supposed to be a question, but Heyman's like, I've done these depositions before. I know for a fact that wasn't a question. And actually, Paul Heyman, too, he reminded that the last time him and Lesnar and Chris Jericho were in the ring, Lesnar laid out Jericho, which I like that he brought that up. And then Chris Jericho asks why he wanted to take Brock Lesnar out of the Royal Rumble match. Is he afraid that he wouldn't win because 29 of the superstars would be against Brock Lesnar? And then Paul Heyman says that the reason he wanted to do that is because it would increase the WWE Network subscriptions. And Brock Lesnar never rightfully lost the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He was never pinned or submitted. And he says if you have Brock Lesnar versus anybody on the roster, that is going to increase the box office and the WWE Network subscriptions. And then Chris Jericho says, well, what if it... And then Brock Lesnar says, but this Sunday at the Royal Rumble, it's going to be Suplex City. Brock Lesnar is going to toss guys out. And Chris Jericho says, well, what if it comes down to me and Brock Lesnar? Then what happens? And then Brock Lesnar comes out. And before he can make his full entrance, Roman Reigns comes out and gets in the ring. And then Brock Lesnar gets in the ring. Reigns spears Lesnar, starts beating the crap out of him. And Jericho's just gone at this point. And then the League of Nations run out, start beating up Reigns. And then Lesnar hits a German suplex on Rusev. And then he hits one on Del Rio. And then he hits an F5 on Sheamus. And then Reigns spears Lesnar again. And then the Wyatt family video package goes off. And then they teleport to ringside. And the Wyatt family beat up Reigns. Harper hits a super kick and a discus clothesline on Reigns. And then afterwards, Wyatt hits a Sister Abigail on Reigns. And then afterwards, they attack Lesnar. Harper boots him in the face. Eric Rowan heel kicks him. Strowman clotheslines him. And then Bray Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail on Lesnar. And the Wyatt family stands tall to end the show. And then that was Raw this week. To be honest with you, I actually liked this segment here. I thought it was really enjoyable. I thought it was good. I liked how they made the Wyatts look strong here. And I liked the whole dynamics with Jericho and Paul Heyman. And I liked the brawl with Lesnar and Reigns. And I liked the whole brawl at the end. And I thought this was good here. I thought this was really good stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the SmackDown portion of this review. It's It happened. No, well, it took place on January 21st, 2016, and we have Byron Saxon, Mauro Ranallo, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary for this show, and Chris Jericho comes out to cut a promo, and he recaps what happened with the highlight reel on Raw, and you just heard me talk about it, so I'm not gonna repeat it. And he says that no matter what, he is gonna save the WWE and walk out as the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And then he gets interrupted by the New Day, and he says that Chris Jericho is a monster. He says that he is worse. He is doesn't care. He is like one of. They should make that documentary making a murderer and say making a brass murderer about him. But the difference is because that's a new show that they got going on Netflix. If you don't know yet the reference, but the difference is that we actually have evidence that you broke Francesca. And he says that you can redeem yourselves if right now you give a moment of silence to Francesca. And then Chris Jericho says, you realize you're paying a moment of silence to an instrument, right? And then they start getting mad, and then Chris Jericho makes fun of them some more, talking about how they should have their names changed because some of their names don't fit. Like Kofi Kingston's name doesn't fit a preacher. He should be Rudy, and then Xavier Woods should be Tootie, and Big E should be Booty. And then he gets that chant going. But Jericho said, look, you guys got to get ready for your six-man tag team match. And it ends up being against Dolph Ziggler and the Usos. And Dolph Ziggler had his face painted like the Usos did. I thought that looked kind of cool. I have no faith in Dolph Ziggler anymore, really. He's just kind of... I feel like he's just gonna finish out his contract deal, then he's gonna go somewhere else. Because I feel like at this point, like I've talked about before, to James and stuff like that he's just faking a smile. But overall, this was a nice, solid matchup. But anyway, this was a nice, solid matchup, and I did enjoy it. Ziggler and the Usos win when they hit a triple super kick on Xavier Woods for the win, so I thought that was fine. And then we get Becky Lynch versus Alicia Fox with Brie Bella, so at least they changed it up a little bit this time. And Ric Flair and Charlotte were on commentary for the match, and this actually wasn't a bad match. Alicia Fox hits a Northern Lights suplex on the floor, which was cool, and then Becky Lynch wins with a disarmer. And then we get Miz TV with Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens. Miz goes to introduce his guest, and he talks about what a last man standing match is. And then Dean Ambrose interrupts him, and he says a last man standing match is like a circuit. Well, it's like a amusement park. And Miz is trying to interrupt him, but Dean Ambrose continues talking. And then he says, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. And then Dean Ambrose says, well, I'll ball up when my fist balls up, I'll knock you out. So then Miz says, you know what, I'm sick and tired of getting interrupted. You think you can do better? Then let's call it Dean TV. And then he sits in the corner. And Dean Ambrose says in the last man standing match is like an amusement park. And he pretty much talks about all the things that he's going to do to Kevin Owens in the last man standing match. How he's going to end him on the apron, crack him over the head with the steps, and put him through the announcer's table. And he says that Kevin Owens said he was going to drive him insane. But he says his insanity is going to keep Dean Ambrose up. And then Kevin Owens comes out and said that you may have insanity to keep you up and to be able to do all these things to me, but my drive and for the Intercontinental Championship is going to keep me up. And then that was really it. And then Dean Ambrose challenges him to have a fight right now. And then Miz ambushes him from behind, which I totally saw coming. And then Kevin Owens pump-up powerbombs Miz, and then he goes to do it to Dean Ambrose, but Ambrose fights him off, and Owens runs away. I actually did like the segment here. I thought it was pretty good. Then the Wyatt family were backstage, and I thought they were going to say something, but all they just said was Smackdown, we're here. And then we get Ryback versus Bray Wyatt with Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Braun Strowman ringside. Thought it was a nice, solid matchup. The Wyatt family keeps interfering, so Wyatt ends up winning with his sister Abigail. And then we get Stardust versus Titus O'Neil. I didn't care about this match. I didn't care about it the first 2 times, so I cared about it even less this time. The match was, I guess this is the best match they've had. Titus O'Neil wins again with the Clash of the Titus, wasting more of our time. And then Kalisto gets interviewed, and he talks about how he's going to win the United States Championship. And then he gets attacked by the League of Nations, and Sheamus Bro kicks him. And then we get Roman Reigns versus the League of Nations. Thought it was a nice, solid matchup. It was really just kind of thrown together, though. And Roman Reigns cuts a promo saying that he gets a little bit of a warm-up match tonight, and then the League of Nations attack him, and the ref losing control, so Reigns wins by disqualification. Then the Usos try to save Reigns, but they fail, and then Reigns hits a spear on Del Rio and Sheamus. And then the Wyatt family come out and attack Reigns and lay him out, and then that was it. Overall, I thought SmackDown was an okay show this week. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good show. I did think it was better than Raw this week, just because I like the stuff with... I like Jericho's promo. I like the 6-man tag team match. I didn't mind the Divas match, I guess, but it's still I like the Miz TV segment. Ryback versus Bray Wyatt was good. And I like the stuff they did at the end, so I did think this was a better show than Raw this week. So that's pretty much it, guys. Those are my videos. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out everything down below. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.